Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Lisa Richardson.
And I'm your other host, Annalisa Itkor. And we are lucky today to be on the beautiful dock here in Colleton River community. And joining us today, we have 4 residents who are very excited to share their experience living here. First off, we'll have Sam Boyd.
Next, we'll have Mark Heiner, who's been a long-term resident here to share about some of his fun activities.
And last but certainly not least, we have Marcia and Jack Conover, also residents here, very excited to tell us about their own experience.
So stick around and join us for this episode of 843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
843 TV, where Bluffton comes to speak.
Where Spring Island comes to speak.
Where Hilton Head Island comes to speak.
Where Beaufort comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
Welcome to 843 TV here at the beautiful Colleton River dock, where today we are talking with several members to the community, and they're sharing all about what brought them here. And joining us here now is Sam Boyd. Good to see you. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Now, Sam, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you moved from, and how long you have been here in Colleton River.
Well, my family and I moved here 12 years ago from the San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh, that's quite a difference.
Yeah, so we've been in Colleton 12 years, which has been fantastic, and we've been able to see Colleton and Bluffton really grow.
You have, yes.
And it's just grown into this beautiful thing it is today. It's just been great.
So you may not know this, but Sam and I actually, we know each other. I got here today and I saw your face and I went, oh. So Sam and I play tennis together.
Yeah.
And I've had the pleasure of playing here on your beautiful facilities. Tell us a little bit more about the tennis facility here.
Well, we have 6 clay courts. One of them is lighted, and it was designed by Stan Smith, and he did a beautiful job. And we have a really a lovely, friendly tennis community here that really ranges in all levels, which is nice. So you can kind of play for fun if you want, or you can play competitively on leagues. And so yeah, you've been here.
Well, and one of the other things that I love about your facility is you have really comprehensive viewing areas, because it isn't always just about playing. Sometimes it's really fun when you have family come and watch. And you've got great viewing areas and that wonderful clubhouse. Tell us a little bit about the clubhouse there.
Well, we have 2 clubhouses here, and the tennis courts are next to the Nicholas Clubhouse.
Okay.
And we're about to redo the tennis cottage as well, which is going to be wonderful. So yeah, we do have great viewing areas. I always say I love watching tennis as much as playing it.
Well, and speaking of watching, I mean, there's quite a few leagues and programs here. Tell us a little bit of how you get involved in those.
Well, we have 2 very popular pros, Michael Regan and Gavin Cox, and they're very popular. They do private lessons. They also do clinics, pro expos, round robins, you name it. We have they get really creative, all kinds of fun, competitive tournaments. And then we also have teams, competitive teams. In fact, our 55 and over 4-0 women's team has gone to states twice, 2 years in a row, the past 2 years, and done really well. So, so you can come here, you can just play for fun, or you can come and really compete all over Bluffton and the island, representing Colleton.
Well, and I know from experience you put out excellent teams here, and you can bring in people from outside the community, right? Can't people from outside?
Well, sometimes if we need to fill in, if we don't have quite enough at a certain level, but you know, we have mixed teams, we have men's teams and women's teams, and so we can kind of find a team for anybody.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
You mentioned Stan Smith, excuse me, and for those who may not know Stan, he's got quite a background in tennis, and he lives here locally still and very active in the community, so that just adds to the culture. Share a little bit about who Stan is, for those who don't know, and how that fits into the overall culture, just having the quality of professional, former professionals around here.
Yeah, well, we have, I mean, he's a big name, and in fact, I mean, his shoes have gotten incredibly popular.
Lately. Exactly.
Like with the young people, it's amazing. But yeah, he's designed, I think, several courts all over Hilton Head and Bluffton, but what's nice about our courts is, you and I play all over the place, right?
Oh, yes.
A lot of courts like back up to 278, so you have traffic noise or among other issues. Our courts, they're quiet.
Very serene
and it's just surrounded by
yeah.
beautiful landscaping. So it's nice.
Well, and it's beautiful
Yeah.
just driving to get to them. I always enjoy the drive to the courts because, I mean, this community is gorgeous.
Well, the drive to anywhere in the here is just beautiful for sure. So
Now, I know that you play a lot of tennis. And you have a family. Do you have time for any other activities or things here in the community?
Well, there's a lot to do, isn't there, outside? I play golf, but tennis is my first love. So I do play golf, and we also like to get out on the water. We get on the jet skis or paddle
yes,
boards.
that's my favorite right there. Yeah.
So there's some great options. So yeah.
And speaking of that, as we're here on this beautiful dock and community, tell us about some of the other things like kayaking that you might be able to do right
Well,
here.
you mentioned stand-up paddleboarding. It looks
Yeah.
like the water is beautiful here for that.
It really is, and I mean, we have storage here. You could storage, if you live in Colleton, you can store your kayaks and paddle boards right here at the dock and just go right on out. And but they also have guided tours as well, which is great, and kayak groups, and yeah, so lots
awesome.
of options.
So you
yeah.
really don't have to leave the surrounding gate of Colleton River to do any of these things. You've got everything
really
right
don't.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get out much, by the way? Do you?
Well, I got to go play her in
You got to
tennis.
go play, of course. Exactly. So much
We
to do.
force her to come over to Hilton Head every now and again.
What other thoughts might you give to someone who's considering Colleton River over another community? What could you tell them or share in addition that might help them make up their mind and their decisions?
Well, one thing is, I think a lot of people identify Colleton River as a golfing community, which it is, and it's fantastic. But there are so many other options. You know, like I'm a tennis player, and I really love our tennis community. It's very close and very friendly. So there are lots of other fun groups that you can join in here and things to do. So
Real
besides
quick,
golf.
speak to raising kids here.
Right. Well, when we moved here, so we have 3 sons, and they were 12 and under when we moved here. So they loved it. And there's maybe not as many kids in here, I think, as a lot of people assume. But there are some, and they're very close with those other Colleton
Yeah.
kids because, and they love growing up here. They're very much, we call them like marsh babies because we live on the marsh, and they grew up on a paddleboard, basically.
Wow,
And
that's
there's this little
awesome.
island behind our house, and they go out there, and they've built a dock and a tree house. And so there
Wow.
there are things for kids to do here,
yeah.
but there's not a ton of kids. But
That sounds idyllic, absolutely idyllic.
yeah.
And a very important thing that you brought up too, because most people are probably thinking this is a retirement or post career type place, but in fact, as you just said, great place for the kids.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, thank you for joining us, Sam.
Thank you.
Please stick with us. We'll be right back with more 843 TV.